I did a similar review like this last year for the Elite, so I thought I'd do one for the One again. The One is the last book in the selection series by Kiera Cass, and if you don't know what the series is about, it takes place in a dystopian America. The place is now called Aaliyah. There's a monarchy, and the prince needs to pick a wife, so a lot of girls around the country get to sign up, and then they get drawn 35, and then there's like a competition, and the prince, needs to pick one, and because the society is clustered into numbers, and on top, the royal family is the one, the girl that gets picked will become a one. So that's the basic premise of the book. This review might sound a little bit ranty to you, but it's not supposed to be anything super overly negative, because if you're expecting any great storyline or any great character development, you might be reading the wrong story. But it is super enjoyable, and all the things that make you facepalm yourself are actually the things that made the book even more enjoyable. I know it sounds weird. The book is super girly. There's a lot of pretty dresses, a lot of balls going on. I also have a soft spot for that, but it's like a guilty pleasure for me. So my first impression of the One was it's the Lead 2.0 up until the last 30 pages. America does something stupid, America and Maxim fight, America and Maxim make up, America and Maxim make out, rinse and repeat every 20 pages. And at some point I was just like, oh, that's why I thought she was so annoying. I just forgot. I just don't know. But, the plot didn't really develop for a long time, and then when finally the descent of Aaliyah came into the picture, I was super excited. I was like, yes! Finally something's happening. This story actually might go somewhere. I was a bit disappointed in how it turned out, nothing really happened. America did find a financial backer for the Northern Rebels, but that's about as far as it went, and they kind of saved the palace, but it's very unclear how they did that. Are there still Southern rebels? Did they just crush the whole entire rebellion? No idea. No idea. Maxim dying though would have made a great plot twist, but that didn't happen. Everything was tied up very nicely. What I did see coming from 100 miles away was the Aspen Lucy thing, and at some I was just, when Aspen tried to tell America so many times, I was just like, just tell her. It was so obvious he was gonna say, I love you, but I found someone else. It would have made the whole thing so much easier. And Aspen, you don't owe America anything. She's about to skip into the sunset. What are you gonna do but not tell? You have to tell her sooner or later. Your girl, at some point, will be like, tell her. Even though your girl is the maid of the other girl, which complicates things a little bit, but whatevs, just tell her. And the whole entire Max in America and not saying I love you thing, it was, Maxim, you love her, America, you love him, why don't you just say it? It would have made everything so much easier. The whole entire thing about, oh, I love Maxim, in that moment I realized what I felt for him, and I have to come clean about Aspen, but then as soon as she sees Aspen, it's like, oh, but I could never get rid of him, and he would always be part of my life. And it's just like, ugh, America, just tell him. At some point it's gonna blow up in your face. At some point it did blow up in your face. Yeah. I thought it was funny how Maxim threw a fit after he found out that Aspen was her past lover, and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna marry Chris. I don't need your lying face around here. And then, she almost gets shot, and then he gets shot, and he's like, oh, you're the love of my life. I will always love you. I'm just like, why? Why? What would have happened if you married Chris? Would you have started regretting it? You couldn't have gotten out of that marriage. I mean, why does it take a bullet wound to make you realize who you really have feelings for? Why? Okay? The other thing, Chris being a rebel and America's father being a rebel didn't do anything for the story or America's character development. I mean, they were rebels, shocker, but did it change anything? It didn't change anything. Chris didn't do anything. She didn't, you know, do sneaky backhand actions. Her father didn't really do anything. I just don't know. What was the point? What was the point? And what was the point in killing Celeste? That actually made me sad. Truth be told, Celeste's character development wasn't that realistic, but I really liked non-evil Celeste. She was sassy, she was self-confident. I liked the way how she was like, you ain't doing nothing to me. And then she gets killed. And I was just like, why? 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 I understand this whole war needs collateral damage, blah 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 thing, but you could have killed Marley, you could have killed Chris, would have had a bigger emotional impact on America, and Celeste would be alive. We're all happy. Wasn't it a little bit too convenient that Anne and the king and the queen died? I mean, it was just like tying everything up with the bow on top. Anne doesn't have to oppose Lucy anymore regarding her feelings for Aspen. The king would have never accepted America, and I don't know why the queen died, but the king also wouldn't have been happy with Max's agenda, so that all went well, I guess. Yeah, was there anything positive? Oh, I'm not saying there were a lot of funny parts in this book. Like, not funny as in humorous, but just, you know, parts that made me laugh out of other reasons. It's just a really, really enjoyable, fun read. Might not be everybody's, you know, taste, but yeah, I don't know. I just like it's like addicting, like reality television. You know it's not good for you, but then it's too intriguing to watch away. So yeah, overall I actually really enjoyed the series. If I would tell my past self if I should read it, yeah, I would tell myself to read it. I just had a lot of fun reading it, and even though it has flaws, I think the flaws are part of what makes this series so fun. I don't know if that makes sense. Tell me if you read this book, I hope you've read this book, otherwise I might have spoiled you. But yeah, tell me what you thought about it, what were the parts that you liked, what were the parts that you disliked, and yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!